Hey, it's your friend Steve. Starting a little late today. Oh, my back. Oh, my back. Little back problems today. Fuck. So, we're not going to be going too fast. Sucks getting old. Oh, really sucks getting old. How's everyone doing today? Other than that, pretty good, man. Pretty good. Yeah, just freaking enjoying the life, man. Woke up. Got to wake up today. It was pretty cool. Man, everyone I love is alive and well, so that was cool. Oh, I love how I freaking. We're gonna talk about last night, and we're talking about what the fuck is going on. I might be losing my mind, guys. Just a heads up. Yeah. So I was watching. So I got really high on Sunday, right? And I was like, man, I want to watch something. I really love documentaries, and I'm really obsessed. No, I don't. Maybe obsessed is a bad word. Cults are very interesting to me. Very interesting, because, well, first off, if anyone can get you to give up your life and follow their list, follow them, it's very interesting. People, both sides of it, the culties and the cult leaders, but I get it, man. Sometimes you're just lost. You're fucking lost. And you just don't know what the fuck to do. And then sometimes, there's a fucking dude or a girl that pops up. There's not a lot of cult leader girls. That's surprising, to be honest. I think a girl could probably get a lot of guys to, follow her. Just the promise of sex would, get a lot of guys to be yeah. She might fuck one of us. Okay. But anyway, so it's a lot of guys. So, but it's interesting. It's just fascinating. So I was really high watching that, and I was fuck, man, this is really good shit. I love a good documentary. And so I'm watching it, glued to it, because it's actually a really good documentary. It's kind of like satire, but it's also it gives you a lot of good information. Plus, Peter Dinklage narrates it, and he has a great, sultry, buttery voice. But, so anyway, I'm watching that. And then last night, this girl comes up to me. She goes, "You're very tall." I was yeah, I'm 6'7". She's "You're very charismatic." And I'm okay, yeah, She's "You command a room." I'm yeah. She's "You just are gonna rule the world one day." And I was huh. It's "You're drunk, but okay." I'm very intrigued because I have an ego. I was "Oh, would you like to elaborate?" And she's "I could just tell that you're going to just be someone." I'm "Oh, well, I appreciate that." It's I do YouTube, so it kind of makes a little sense. YouTube's kind of YouTubey. YouTube's kind of a cult, sort of. I mean, people are following me, and some people really like me. Some people don't really like me. They just follow me to shit on my shit, which is also cool because haters are. Ooh, Philly, don't pull. Back hurts. Haters are your biggest fans. But then I was wow, okay. Weird that the universe sent you to tell me all this, but okay. And she wasn't bad looking. I mean, she was kind of Philly, no barkies. You don't bark at people. But it's just it was just a weird conversation, but it happens to me all the time. The universe just sends weird. I'm a magnet for weird dudes and weird women, which is cool because I'm also a weird person. I get it. I enjoy being weird, but it's also whoa, what the fuck are we even doing here, guys? And what's happening? A lot of weird shit's been happening to me lately. the other day, this guy I kind of know from the bar was like, hey, just so a heads up. I was like, yeah. He's like, that girl over there I've been talking to told me to tell you, if you want, like, she can, like, come over and, like, suck your dick. I was like, oh, okay. First off, no woman, first off, red flags everywhere, right? Because women just don't offer to just suck your dick. Like, you have to do, I mean, not to, like, be like, oh, you have to do stuff to do it, but you have to, like, put a little effort in there. It's not like, hey, let me suck your dick, right? Maybe I'm just not that attractive, but maybe that happens to, like, good looking guys. Oh, Philly, you're killing me with the pulling. But usually I have to, like, work for it a little bit, which is cool. I don't mind working for it. I enjoy it. Like, you know, I'm more of, like, the hunter. Like, I enjoy, like, the whole aspect of, like, you know what, I got you and me have to, like, do this little dance, you know, of, like, getting to know each other and, like, you know, being, like, conversation and all this. And then if I'm lucky, you'll, like, put my dick in your mouth, which is cool. I love it. That's, like, one of my favorite things to do, is to fucking, I enjoy proving myself to people. I don't know, maybe I'm broken, but so anyway, he goes, she'll, like, suck your dick. I was like, oh, okay. Like, I haven't had that happen in a minute. Well, maybe I'll just see where this rabbit hole goes, because I'm very curious. I was very curious, like, what woman just, like, goes, hey, I just want to suck your dick, nothing else, just suck your dick. I'm like, huh. So I'm talking to her, and I go, fuck. Like, I don't know if I've ever told this story. So maybe, like, a year and a half ago, I'm at the bar, and this woman, really hot, like, is staring at me. And usually I'm not one to approach women in a sexual way. I find it awkward. I find it, like, I feel like most men do that. So it's kind of like, I don't want to say I'm better than most men, but I'm kind of better than most men. So anyway, she just keeps staring at me. I say, fuck it, let me go talk to her, because I got to find out why she keeps staring at me. So I walk up to her and I'm like, hey, my name's Steve. Won't say her name. You know, I don't use names on this, so people can deny it's them. She's like, blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh, that's a very pretty name. And then she goes, Billy, you gotta stop. Like, you're being bad today. So I go, oh, cool. Like, you know, you're very pretty. And she's like, you're very pretty yourself. And I said, oh, I appreciate that. Because when do you get called pretty as a dude? Never get pretty. Maybe handsome every once in a while, but it's mostly like, you know, I get cute. I get called cute a lot. I think women have like a teddy bear fetish, which makes sense, because most of their sexual, like, their first time sexually was with the fucking teddy bear, right? Or is that just in porn? I don't know. I don't know women. Most of my fucking sexual ideas is from porn, which is probably a bad idea. So she's like, you're very big. And I was like, yeah, I know. My doctor tells me that. And then she's like, I'd love to climb you, which isn't, like, the first time I've heard that. It's actually happened a few times. Women just like to say they want to climb me. I guess that's cool. I mean, cool for me, cool for them. So if that's what you're into, that's cool. But she's like, oh, I want to climb you. I'm like, okay. Like, we can probably make that happen. And she's like, I'm just going to bark in your face. And she starts barking in my face. I'm like, okay, like, I'm a kinky dude, but that's a new one. Like, I'm not really sure. Like, if a woman, I guess if you're hot enough, I guess, like, sure, whatever you want to do, I'm into. If at the end I get to have sex with you, so whatever you're into, I don't really give a shit. I'm here for your pleasure. So she's like, oh yeah, let's hang out. And I was like, okay. But she's getting, like, really fucked up, and I'm not fucked up at all. So I was like, okay, well, I'll take your number, and, like, you know, we can get together later. So I like walk away because I'm kind of like, once I like get your number, I kind of just like don't want to be involved because it's like I like to be sober, or like we need to be on the same level when we fuck. So I walk away, and she gets like kicked out, right? And her friend comes up to me and she goes, "Hey, I just want to apologize, like that she's going through a lot." I'm like, well, she was fine to me, like, she didn't do anything too extreme to me. She's like, she has cancer. It's like, oh fuck. And then I'm like, oh fuck, like that makes a whole lot of sense, because she was kind of drinking like, hey, there's no tomorrow. And if I had cancer, I drink like there was no tomorrow. That makes sense. So then I was like, oh God, like, what if that was like her last sexual experience before she died, was like having sex with me? Not that I'm like bad at sex, but it's also like gives me a lot of anxiety, and I have to be in the right headspace, because I haven't had sex with a lot of people. I'm like close to 10 maybe, which is cool because I don't particularly find sex too pleasurable. Just a lot of anxiety about it, because I got to make sure you have a good time. I much rather do other things to make sure you get off. You know what I mean? Like the other things I know I'm really, really good at. So sex, I guess I'm good. I mean, I don't know. How do you really fucking tell if you're good at sex? Like there should be like a service where like you just like fuck someone and they give you their honest like Yelp review. I guess that's prostitution, but for the positivity of the world, because women just lie about men knowing how to fuck, right? Like they don't want to hurt our feelings, so they go, huh, that was really good, like, but it was trash. Like you need to like let a motherfucker know, right? Wrong? Cool. So anyway, this girl was like, okay, well, I texted her, never responded. So I was like, okay, well, maybe she just gave me the wrong number, or she was blackout drunk. There was two options. So cut to like maybe a month ago, this girl walks up to me. She's with like this old black dude. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, different strokes for different folks. And she goes, "You look like you need like to party." I'm like, huh? I mean, I've been known to party once or twice. Philly, stop eating trash. Bad girl. Bad. Stop eating shit off the floor. So anyway, she like, "You like to party?" I'm like, huh, kind of. I mean, yeah, I do. So I was like, wow, I think she might be a prostitute. It's a very prostitute-y thing to say, especially when you're with like an older, not so attractive black man, or any man actually, but he happened to be black. But so I was like, oh, prostitute. So I told my friend, who's also a weirdo, who like loves weird things. He's like, oh, okay. So he goes and talks to her. They end up fucking, and he goes, yeah, bro, not a prostitute. I'm like, oh, wow, okay. So then cut to last Friday, this guy that I barely know goes, hey, that girl wants to suck your dick. Turns out it's the cancer girl. I know that was a lot to get to that, because I was like, huh. She's like, oh, she told me what she did. I was like, so this is gonna be like real weird. But also, prostitute girl, like it was all the same woman, by the way, like everyone, the prostitute girl that wasn't a prostitute. So anyway, guy I barely know goes, hey, she really wants to suck your dick. I'm like, bro, like what? So anyway, we're talking, and then I'm like, yeah, you can come to my house, which I'm like, ugh, really stoned at this time. I'm like, I don't really like random people coming to my house. I don't like anybody coming to my house, to be honest. It's like my fortress of solitude. But, I have needs. Like, if you want to get your dick sucked, got to take one for the team. So, she comes over. Well, first off, I give her my neighbor's address, like down the street, because I'm like, well, I don't want her showing up at my house. Like, what if she shows up with a bunch of people to rob me? That's my first instinct, because it's too good to be true, like too good. So I give her my neighbor, and I'm like out in the bushes, like looking to make sure like she shows up alone. I'm like, oh, you're here? She's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, like I'm gonna walk out. I'll see you in a minute. And she's like, I'm like looking to see if there's another car. Philly, stop. And she's like, okay. And then like I start talking to her. And I mean, she said to me like, really? Philly, stop. Stop. Stop, Philly. Hey, Philly. It's good. You're fine. Philly. 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 Enough. Philly. Hey. Stop. 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 Anyway, so she's like sending me all these texts like, you know, really want to suck your dick, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay. Kind of weird. I'm very weirded out. Don't trust people. So she comes over. She starts talking to me. Very robotic. Very like, almost like alien-like. Like very shy. Maybe like socially awkward. Probably on the spectrum, right? Because she seems like she's smart but doesn't have like a lot of social skills. So we're talking. And, you know, it's like, hey, just like, no pressure or anything, but it's like, or not to be weird, but you're a lot different in text. Hey, stop. You're a lot different in text than you are in person, which is cool because I kind of like, I'm into shy girls, so I'm fine with that. Like, we're cool. Like, I'm enjoying the conversation and all, but like in person, you match my energy better than in text, because like in text you're very sexual, which I am a sexual person, but it's also like, not to be gay or anything, but I kind of like foreplay a little bit, but foreplay as in like have a fucking conversation and like talk, because I don't think the universe like put us on the same path like this for like no reason at all, you know what I mean? Because very rarely do you meet the same person 3 times. So she's like, yeah, I have to admit, so-and-so had my phone, the dude from the bar, and was texting you. I was like, well, he was texting me like, you want, like, I want to suck your dick and all that. She's like, yeah. I was like, huh, that's kind of weird. A dude, like, I appreciate bro. I appreciate a bro being a bro, but kind of weird to be saying, hey, I want to suck your dick and pretending to be a female. Interesting. And then she's like, yeah, you know, whatever, and blah, blah, blah. So we just like end up talking and having a good conversation. I'm not sure. She probably was an alien. Something was very off about the whole situation. So I didn't like get my dick sucked, which is fine. I'm perfectly fine with that. Because I didn't know what the fuck the whole situation was. And when I don't like know the person and I don't like understand what we're getting out of it, like we both have to, by the way, look at the sky. This backdrop looks great. I hope people are really like, Philly, you gotta walk. Yeah, I hope people are actually watching this and walking. And also, if you think I'm crazy, could you just type you're crazy? It would really help me if everyone like got along and told me what I think in my head. I also have been doing edibles for like 5 days straight, so that could also be it. My mental illness and edibles hitting. Plus I'm taking like these new pills, like turkey mushroom